There's one knob on the P16M that works completely opposite to every other knob on the unit. If you don't know about it before you touch it, you will mess up your mix. I'll show you which one it is and exactly how to set it. In this video, I'll show you how to build a monitor mix on the P16M, what the important controls do, and how to avoid a couple mistakes that'll mess up your mix. I'm going to keep this beginner friendly and not assume that you have any experience behind audio mixers, because honestly, you might not, and that's totally fine. Alright, let's do a quick tour of the P16M so you know what you're working with. The most important thing right now is the bottom row. These are your 16 channel buttons, and everything starts by selecting one. Whatever channel you want to adjust, just press the button for it. Up at the top, you've got your EQ knobs, your bass, mids, and treble. We'll get into how to use those in a bit. Over on the top right are your output controls, the output level knob and the limiter. These control the overall signal going to your IEMs or monitor speakers. In the middle section, you've got your main button, solo mute, the pan and balance knob, and your volume knob. This is where most of the mixing happens. And finally, up at the top left are 4 setup buttons, your link, group, store, and recall. We'll save those for later in the video. Before you touch anything else, let's set up the mains. This should always be your first step. Press the main button and you'll see it controls the master volume, EQ, and the limiter for your entire output. Think of it like the master fader on a front of house console. Go ahead and set this to about 2/3 of the way up. You don't want to start at full volume, but you want enough headroom to work with. You can always adjust from there once the mix is built. Okay, now the fun part. Let's actually build your mix. First, let's check for any muted channels. Press the mute button, and if any channels are muted, they'll show up with a red light. We've got a couple muted here, so let's go ahead and clear those. You want to do this first because if a channel is muted and you can't figure out why you can't hear it, that's going to be frustrating real fast. Now pick your first channel. Press its button and bring the volume up with the volume knob. Don't worry about EQ yet, just get a rough level going. Then move on to the next channel and do the same thing. Work through everything you want to hear and build a basic balanced mix first.
I got saved.
Once you got everything in, then go back and prioritize. If you're a vocalist, for example, you'll probably want your voice sitting above the drums and the rest of the band, so boost what matters and trim back whatever's getting in the way. If you're finding this helpful so far, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss future videos. It genuinely helps the channel a lot. And if you have any tips or questions, leave them in the comments. Once your levels are set, you can start shaping the tone of individual channels with the EQ. And before we do, we're going to use the solo to isolate the channel we're working on. Press the solo button and select a channel. Now you're only hearing that one channel. It's much easier to EQ something when you're not fighting everything else in the mix. The bass and treble knobs are shelf EQs. You're boosting or cutting the low and high frequencies as a whole. This is pretty straightforward, so just adjust to your taste. The mids are a little different because they're sweepable, meaning that you can target a specific frequency range rather than the mids as a whole. Here's the trick. Crank the mid gain up quite a bit. Then slowly sweep the frequency knob until you find something that sounds harsh or unpleasant. Once you find it, pull the gain back down just past center. That's your sweet spot. One thing to know before you start EQing. When you select a new channel, the LED rings around the EQ knobs probably won't be lit. If the ring isn't lit, just turn the knob until it lights up. Now you've caught the current setting for that channel, so it's locked and ready to go. You'll need to do this on every channel you want to change the EQ on. When you're done, press the channel button again to unsolo it. let's jump into panning. Now that your levels and EQ are dialed in, let's add some depth with panning. Select the channel and turn the pan balance knob left or right. You'll hear it shift in your headphones or IEMs. This is a great way to place instruments where they actually are on the stage. If there's a guitar off to your right, pan it slightly to the right and it'll feel a lot more natural in your ears. To reset the center, just turn the knob back until it's centered, or press the knob in and it snaps back instantly. And here's the knob I mentioned at the beginning of this video. This one works completely opposite of every other knob on the P16M. The limiter protects your hearing and keeps things from clipping, but it should be the last thing you set after your mix is dialed in. Start with it all the way off. For the limiter, 0 is all the way clockwise. So once your mix is set, slowly turn it counterclockwise until the LED ring just barely flickers every now and then. That's all you need. Don't push it too far though. If you overdo it, you'll notice the volume dropping out, the mix sounding squashed, or the sound cutting in and out. Last up, a quick rundown of those 4 setup buttons at the top left. So you got your mix dialed in, now it's time to save it. Hold the store button and press the channel number you want to save it to. You've got 16 of them, so you got lots of room. Then press that button again to confirm it. This is great if you have multiple people sharing the same unit and everybody wants their own mix saved. Or if you just want to fall back in case something happens and your mix gets messed up. Recall just allows you to restore your saved mix. So to do this, hold the recall button and press the channel where your mix is stored. That's it, you're back up and running. The group button allows you to group channels together so that you can control them all with one volume knob instead of having to go in manually on each channel and turn them up or down. To do this, press the group button and then press the button for each channel that you want to group together. Those channels will light up red. Press the group button again, and then from then on, whenever you select one of those channels, the others will flash red, showing that they're all grouped. It's really handy for adjusting all your instruments all at once with a single volume knob.
Morning turns to songs of praise.
If you want to pair 2 channels together to create a stereo mix, let's say you have a stereo keyboard, all you have to do is press the link button and then press the button for the 2 channels that you want to pair as a stereo pair. Keep in mind that you can only link odd to even, so 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, and so on. It's perfect for those stereo keyboards or anything else that you have running in stereo. And that's really everything you need to get a great mix out of the P16. Once you sit down with it for a Sunday or 2, it'll start to feel like second nature. And that's it for this one. I'll see you next time.